Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss some important questions on biochemistry. So let's start. In the body, the metabolism of 10 gram of carbohydrate yields 1 kilocalorie, 40 kilocalorie, 400 kilocalories or 200 kilocalories. So moving to the discussion part. So the energy values of carbohydrate is 4 kilocalorie, proteins 4 kilocalorie, and for fat it is slightly more, that is 9 kilocalorie. Okay, so for carbohydrate it is 4, protein it is 4, and for fats it is 9 kilocalorie. So what does 10 gram of carbohydrate yields? That means for carbohydrate it is 4 kilocalories, so 10 gram it is 40 kilocalorie. Okay, and the daily requirement are for carbohydrate it is 400 gram, proteins it is 60 gram, and for fats it is 70 gram. So these are the various requirements, energy requirements. So 8 gram of carbohydrate yields 40 kilocalories. Clear? So the metabolism of 10 gram of carbohydrate yields 40 kilocalories. Okay. Which of the following is a conjugated protein? Is it albumin or peptones or glycoproteins or coagulated proteins? So the proteins can be classified into, proteins which can be classified into 3. Which are they? First one is simple, then conjugated, and finally it is derived. Okay. So what are simple proteins? Simple proteins examples are albumin and globulin. And the conjugated proteins examples are nucleoproteins, glycoproteins, and blood group antigens. These are the conjugated proteins. And the derived proteins are peptones and coagulated proteins. So these are the various classification of proteins. Very, very important. So which are the proteins? First one is a simple protein. For example, albumin, globulin, etc. When conjugated proteins are nucleoproteins, glycoproteins, and blood group antigens. Then the derived proteins are peptones and coagulated proteins. So these are the various classification. So what is our question? Which one is a conjugated protein? So that answer is glycoprotein. And also nucleoproteins and blood group antigens are conjugate protein. And very commonly asked question is the derived protein. Which is a derived protein? Yeah, peptones and coagulated proteins are the derived proteins. And albumin and globulin are the simple proteins. Clear? Okay. So the answer is the conjugated protein is glycoproteins. Okay. So next question, feed glue excretion test is done to estimate the deficiency of vitamin K, vitamin B12, folic acid and niacin. So histidine, which forms one carbon unit. that is form imino group, and this is taken up by tetrahydrofolate to form imino tetrahydrofolate and glutamate, that is known as Fig glue, that is form imino tetrahydrofolate and glutamate. It is Fig glue. Okay. Histidine lotus is used to detect the deficiency of folate in which Fig glue is excreted in urine. So, histidine lotus is used to detect the deficiency of folate in which Fig glue is excreted in urine. Okay. So, our question is, what is Fig glue? Which this test is done to estimate the deficiency of folic acid. Okay. Next question. Tertiary structure of proteins maintained by. Is it hydrogen bond or hydrophobic bonds or ionic bonds or disulfide bonds or all of them?
So this is the primary protein structure. Here it is the sequence of chain of amino acids are there. Then secondary protein structure, there is the local folding of the polypeptide chain into helices or sheets. That is here beta pleated sheet and here it is alpha helix. In tertiary protein structure, this is a three-dimensional folding pattern of a protein due to side chain interactions. So there are various bonds are there. Okay. So here this is the alpha helices and this is the beta pleated sheet. And this is the quaternary protein structure. Here it consists of more than one amino acid chain. So this is the tertiary structure. It consists of hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds, disulfide bonds and hydrophobic interactions. So this is the structure of tertiary structure of a protein.
So the answer is all of the above. So next question is key enzyme in urea cycle. Which is the key enzyme in urea cycle? Urease or carbamoyl synthase or arginase or ornithine?
So this is a urea cycle, otherwise known as Krebs-Hansley cycle. It is known as Krebs-Hansley cycle or ornithine cycle. Okay. And this cycle, it occurs in both cytosol or cytoplasm and mitochondria. So this is the urea cycle. It is otherwise known as Krebs-Hansley cycle or ornithine cycle, and it occurs in cytosol and mitochondria in the liver. Okay. So in the first step, bicarbonate ion combined with ammonia by deamination, it converts to carbamoyl phosphate by the enzyme known as carbamoyl phosphate synthetase, and this is the rate limiting step or key step, and it is known as, and this enzyme is known as key enzyme of urea cycle, that is carbamoyl phosphate synthetase. Okay, and this carbamoyl phosphate enters in the urea cycle, that is the and combines with the ornithine to form citrulline. Then citrulline enters the cytosol. It converts to arginosuccinate by the enzyme arginosuccinate synthetase. Then into arginine by the enzyme arginosuccinase. Then ornithine by the enzyme arginase. Then enter the mitochondria and it continues the cycle. So the step till conversion of ornithine to citrulline occurs in the mitochondria, and and other rest steps are occur in cytoplasm. So this is the Krebs-Hansley cycle or urea cycle. So the key enzyme is carbamoyl synthase.
Indole ring is present in which of the following amino acid indole ring is present? A. Tryptophan, B. valine, C. methionine, and D. histidine. So this is the indole ring, and this is present in tryptophan. Okay.
So other related question is, what is imidazole ring and in which amino acid can this ring is present? Is it tryptophan or valine or methionine or histidine? So this is the imidazole ring, and this is present in histidine. So indole ring is present in tryptophan and imidazole ring is present in histidine.
In maple syrup urine disease, the amino acids excreted in the urine are leucine, valine, isoleucine, or all of the above. So in this question, they are asking about maple syrup urine disease. What is that? It is actually a disorder due to some branched chain amino acids. Okay, so which are the branched chain amino acids? So coming to some branched chain amino acids, they are valine, leucine or isoleucine, and leucine. So VIL, will. Okay, this is the mnemonic for branched chain amino acids. So valine, leucine, and isoleucine are the branched chain amino acids, and maple syrup urine disease is a disorder of branched chain amino acid. And also, it is due to the defect in the enzyme branched chain alpha keto acid dehydrogenase. Okay, and some of the other disorders, that is, first one is the phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria, it is actually due to the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. Okay, and the amino acid involved is phenylalanine and tyrosine. Then, which are the sulfur amino acids? And the disorder is homocystinuria and cystathionine synthase. This is the enzyme. So, homocystinuria is due to sulfur containing amino acids. Then, Hartnupp's disease, it is due to the amino acid tryptophan. Defective intestinal absorption. Then, branched chain amino acid, that is maple syrup urine disease. Branched chain alpha keto acid dehydrogenase. So, these are the various disorders associated with amino acids. Okay. So coming to next question, inhibition of glycolysis by oxygen is known as, is it Muni effect or Foster effect, Hill reaction, or gluconeogenesis? So what is Pasteur effect? It is the inhibition of glycolysis by oxygen, and the Crabtree effect is the inhibition of oxygen consumption by addition of glucose to tissues having high aerobic glycolysis. So this is the Crabtree effect, and so answer is Foster effect. Okay.
So this is the another question, that is Niemann-Pick disease, which is due to a defect in enzyme precursor for ketone bodies, that is sphingomyelin. And it was the frequently asked question, which result in accumulation of sphingomyelins in liver, spleen, and CNS.
Glutamine replacement by valine in sickle cell anemia is due to, is it nonsense mutation of beta chain or missense mutation of beta chain or degradation of beta chain or deletion of beta chain? So
this is the normal pattern. Here this is the partial DNA sequence of beta globin gene, partial RNA sequence. Then this is a partial amino acid sequence for beta globin, and this is the hemoglobin molecule, and this is RBC. So due to the missense mutation, this valine is replaced with the glutamate, and it causes the sickle cell shaped. So this is known as sickle cell anemia.
The answer is missense mutation of beta gene. So coming to the next question. Rate limiting step in glycolysis is catalyzed by the enzyme hexokinase or phosphofructokinase, enolase or pyruvate kinase.
And here this is the glycolysis pathway, and here this is the rate limiting step, that is fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and the rate limiting enzyme is the phosphofructokinase. So this is the rate limiting enzyme, that is phosphofructokinase.
So the correct answer is phosphofructokinase. So the rate limiting step in glycolysis is catalyzed by phosphofructokinase. Ubiquitin is involved in intracellular proteolysis or electron transport chain or transport of ATP or protein folding. Total ATP per molecule of glucose under aerobic condition. It is 38 or 8 or 24 or 26. So in glycolysis, we have 8 ATP. From pyruvate to acetyl-CoA, 6 ATP, and from citric acid cycle, 24. So there is total of 38 ATP per molecule of glucose under aerobic conditions. Okay.
Amino acid carrier defect is found in. Is it maple syrup urine disease or alkaptonuria or phenylketonuria or cystinuria? So here in cystinuria, the carrier system in kidney for the reabsorption of certain amino acids, cysteine, ornithine, arginine, and lysine. So these are the mnemonic is COAL. Okay, COAL. Cysteine, ornithine, arginine, and lysine. This becomes defective, leading to excretion of all these 4 amino acids in urine. And we already found out that maple syrup urine disease is due to the disorder of branch chain amino acids, that is valine, leucine, and isoleucine, that is VIL. Okay. And it is due to the defect in the enzyme branch chain alpha ketoacid dehydrogenase. And it is also known as branch chain ketonuria. Then phenylketonuria and alkaptonuria, these are due to the various disorders due to the defect in tyrosine metabolism. Alkaptonuria, it is due to the defect in enzyme homogenizate oxidase, and the urine of alkaptonuric patients resembles coke in color. So these are the maple syrup urine disease, alkaptonuria, phenylketonuria, and cystinuria. So the amino acid carrier defect is seen in cystinuria, and it is due to the for the reabsorption of cysteine, ornithine, arginine, and lysine. So these are the various amino acids. Aliphatic amino acids are glycine, alanine, serine, threonine, valine, leucine, and isoleucine. Then neutral aromatic amino acids are phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan. Then neutral heterocyclic are proline only. Then sulfur containing are cysteine, methionine. So the ketogenic amino acids, glycogenic and ketogenic and glycogenic. So ketogenic amino acids, they are 2L, that is leucine and lysine. And glucogenic and ketogenic amino acids, that is both gluco and ketogenic amino acids are phenylalanine, isoleucine, tryptophan and tyrosine. PITT, that is glucogenic and ketogenic. Then all other 20 amino acids are only glycogenic. Okay. So ketogenic amino acids are leucine and lysine. Glycogenic and ketogenic are phenylalanine, isoleucine, tyrosine and tryptophan. And rest of 20 amino acids are only glycogenic. Then just 10, it is an important question, that is, it's a zinc containing protein of saliva which is important for taste sensation. Then Zellweger syndrome is due to the absence of peroxisomes in almost all tissues, as a result of which long chain fatty acids are not oxidized and accumulated in liver and brain. So this syndrome is also called cerebrohepatorenal syndrome. So Zellweger syndrome is due to absence of peroxisomes. So next question is about vitamin. Vitamin that causes encephalomalacia. Vitamin A, B or C or E. Coming to discussion part. This is briefly on some vitamins. So first question is, water soluble vitamins are. Which are the water soluble vitamins? It is B and C. Okay. Then fat soluble vitamins are other vitamins, that is A, B, E and K. Then the vitamin required for tooth development and calcification are, or enamel hyperplasia is seen in association with deficiency of, or hypervitaminosis is seen in association with which vitamins? The answers for these three questions are A and D. Okay, so the A and D vitamins are required for tooth development and calcification. Enamel hyperplasia, it is associated with the deficiency of, and hypervitaminosis is seen in association with vitamin A and D. Then the vitamin involved in collagen synthesis, treatment of methemoglobinemia, and act as a respiratory quotient. And gingiva is most commonly affected by the deficiency of. So for these questions, the answer is vitamin C. So for collagen, it is for C. Okay, vitamin C. So that is the mnemonic. You remember this question. Vitamin involved in collagen synthesis. That is C for C. Then for treatment of methemoglobinemia, then respiratory quotient and the gingiva, which is most commonly affected by the deficiency of vitamin C. Then coming to the next question, vitamins involved in the electron transfer, and also they are heat stable and light sensitive. So electron transfer and heat stable and light sensitive vitamins are vitamin K and vitamin B. So these are the various vitamins involved in electron transfer, and also they are heat stable and light sensitive. Then heat labile vitamins are vitamin C, folic acid and biotin. So these are the heat labile vitamins: folic acid, vitamin C and biotin. Then the vitamin that cannot cross placenta, And also the vitamin cannot cross placenta is vitamin D. Okay. And also its action similar to a hormone, and that is synthesized in the skin, so using during sun rays, and then it is stored in fat. So these all are, the answer is vitamin D. So vitamin D acts as a hormone and it cannot cross placenta. Okay, it's synthesized in skin and stored in fat. Then which vitamin is stored in liver? It is A, D, K, B12 and folate. These are the vitamins stored in liver. Which is the vitamin present in cereals? It is thiamine. Water soluble vitamin which is synthesized in the body is pantothenic acid. Okay. Vitamin that is present in animal food only, B12 and D vitamins. And raw beef tongue and bald tongue of sandwich is seen in the deficiency of niacin. Magenta colored tongue is seen in the deficiency of riboflavin. So these are the various vitamins. Okay. Then Hunter's glossitis or Moeller's glossitis, very important. It is seen in the deficiency of vitamin B12. Okay, Hunter's glossitis or Moeller's glossitis. The neonatal jaundice associated vitamin is vitamin K. For absorption of bile salts, the vitamins are D and K. Antioxidant vitamins are vitamin A, vitamin E and vitamin C. Vitamins associated with peripheral neuritis are vitamin B1, then B12, B6 and E. Vitamins required for wound health are A and C. People consuming polished rice as staple food suffer from deficiency of vitamin B1. People taking only maize as staple diet suffer from deficiency of niacin due to low tryptophan. So, polished rice as staple food suffer from deficiency of vitamin B1, and maize as staple diet suffer from deficiency of niacin. Then taut skin, that is phyrenoderma, is seen in the deficiency of vitamin A and essential fatty acids. Okay. Then vitamin involved in energy-releasing reactions and also essential for enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase, the vitamin is vitamin B1 or thiamine. Then which vitamin is involved in redox reactions? FMN and FAD of riboflavin, that is B2, and NAD plus and NADP plus of niacin. Then vitamin that inhibits lactation, used in treatment of homocystinuria and necessary for transamination, decarboxylation, deamination, vitamin B6. Then vitamin that is involved in one carbon transfer reaction, that is tetrahydrofolate of folic acid. And vitamin that participates as a coenzyme in carboxylation reactions of gluconeogenesis and fatty acid synthesis is biotin. Then vitamin which is related to cofactor in glycine metabolism is folic acid, which is the erythrocyte maturation factor. This vitamin B. Function of which vitamin are carried through coenzyme A, that is pantothenic acid. And our question is vitamin that causes encephalomalacia, it is vitamin E. So E for E. Okay.